Hello and welcome to At Home with Lucas. So we're going to be talking about Starbucks Pike Place whole bean coffee. In this video, we're going to be doing a hands-on with the bag. Then we're going to take those beans, we're going to throw them to the burr grinder and see how they break down. Now that's going to tell us the quality of those beans. After that, we're going to throw it to the pour over and we're going to do a nice pour over, which is going to tell us a little bit more about the freshness of those beans. After that, we do the favorite part of my day, the sip test. Yes, I absolutely love tasting new coffee, and I've only had this coffee in their actual shops. And if you've ever had drip coffee from Starbucks, it is super intense and boiling hot. I mean, it will scold you beyond belief, more than a McDonald's coffee. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so after that, we're gonna figure out, is this a daily, weekly, monthly, or never consumption coffee? It does happen, people, it does happen. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, let's take a look at this bad boy right quick. So you got the iconic Starbucks logo right there, medium roast. You have their like shimmering, sort of blended in, looks like their old school logo right there. Very cool. That's probably where they ended up with that. Very nice. Got the Starbucks Pike Place roast right here. Tasting notes, chocolate and toasted nuts. Very interesting. It seems like a lot of Starbucks has chocolate in their flavor notes. Right here we have the one-way valve. Very strong one-way valve. The smell, the aroma is great. We went with the whole bean, of course, because we do not want those additives or preservatives. This was established since 1971, people. What? Old school. 100% Arabica beans. I went with the larger bag because I'm going to use this for two things. One is, super excited for. Went with the 1.5 pounds. Went big, people. Let's take a look at the side over here. The story of Pike's Place. Very cool. All right. Of course, you get their Starbucks rewards if that's something you're into. All right. Let's take a look at the back. I really like this bag. Someone once told me if you put gold on something, everyone thinks it's valuable. So there you go. You got that seal of gold right down the middle, the spine. All right, so they're going to give you a little bit of information on how to brew a great cup of coffee. Very, very cool. Yes. See, this does not say to store in a refrigerator. So this is what I've learned of how to store your coffee correctly right there. Some people say otherwise. Let's turn it on its side. You have their Pike's Place roast right there. And let's see, medium roast, balanced, smooth, and rich. Very cool. All right, there's the Best By date right there. We are good to go, people. Good to go. All right, take a look at the bottom. A little bit more information on the packaging. All right, so you have their one-way valve here, which as you saw, I pushed it out and it's already starting to gain a little bit of poofiness. So I'm gonna suspect that the glue up here is possibly at fault. Usually bags that do not have the glue will hold their they'll hold their tightness, if you will. But this one seems to not do that. So let's go ahead and crack this bad boy open. Yeah, so this has the double layered glue. So I just broke through the first layer and now I'm going into the second layer. All right, let's take a look at these beans. Ooh, those are dark. Let me try to brighten up this this image a little bit. There we go. All right, wow, those are dark and oily beans right there, people. Holy moly. Starbucks spares no expense for oil. Look at those glistening beans. And as always, there's no filter or color grading on this part of the video, so you can trust that that is pretty much what I'm looking at right now. Wow. Yeah, that is some, ooh, I don't know if you can see the oil on the camera, but my fingers are getting caked in oil. Wow. A little bit of husk right there. Some beans, or some companies, when they roast, there's a lot of husk, and some, when they roast, there's almost none. And Starbucks is usually almost none. But these aren't the giant Starbucks beans that you normally see, so this is interesting. This could be what the original beans looked like, but yeah, they're not the giant ones, and there's a couple broken, jagged pieces in there. Let's take another handful. The bag does not want to stand up. Don't fall over, buddy. All right. Yeah, definitely some, there's an imperfection right there. Definitely some good looking beans, standard Starbucks, coated in massive amounts of oil. But yeah, let's go ahead and throw these to the burr grinder and see how they break down. All right, listen up, people. We're going to grind some beans. All right. Okay, so I'm throwing these into my burr grinder. I usually grind up about 12 ounces of beans at a time. That is because I use a lot of coffee in my daily life, and it is very easy for me to go through 12 ounces in a couple days. So that is the reason for all of these beans being ground up. Plus, when you're trying to review the coffee beans, you kind of want to break them down and then get a good look at all of them just to understand where they're at. So what we're looking for is a uniform grind. That means that you do not want jagged edges. You do not want large and small and medium and dusty. You want it to kind of look like it's all one grind. Usually cheaper coffee beans will break down, they'll kind of shatter, and you'll see like a lot of jagged edges. And you can also hear there's a little bit of a difference when you're grinding up quality beans versus cheaper beans. So that's another thing to look out for. But coming up, we're going to take a closer look at these bad boys and see just how good they broke down. All right, there you go. So there's a little bit of imperfections, but overall, I would say this broke down quite nicely. That is basically the standard for the Starbucks coffee beans. They seem to break down in a very uniform fashion. All right, through my cool editing here, we are going to fill up my pour over coffee maker. This is by Coffee Gator. I absolutely love it. That is also a Coffee Gator kettle right there. I am not sponsored by Coffee Gator. All right, so you want your coffee to be just below 200 degrees. So about 180 to 190 is good. I usually go to 200, then let it cool a little bit. So this is about 185 right here. Good to go. So what you want to do is you want to cover your grounds with enough water and then let it sit for about 30 seconds. And then you're going to hit it with the second wave of water, and that's going to really show you the freshness. So the more crema and the more mushrooming you get, the fresher the coffee bean actually is. So that's a fun thing you can do with a pour over at home. Here we go. There you go. So that is indicative of a fresher bean. You're seeing a lot of crema, pluming. You're seeing a really nice response to that second hit of water. The first hit of water is never going to give you anything. It's the second one that does. And there you go. You're getting a nice, rich, amber looking color right there. Very nice. We're gonna hit this one a couple more times, as you do with a pour over. They say that you want to do this in about 3 minutes. So if this is your first time doing a pour over, I would recommend getting like a stopwatch and set it to 3 minutes right after your first pour. So right when you hit it with the second pour, I would say start the 3-minute clock, just to get you in the wheelhouse of what it's going to take to make a pour over. Sometimes you can waste way too much time by letting it drip all the way out after each pour. Sometimes you can go a little bit too aggressive and pour too soon. So it's kind of like you find your own science and stick with it. Whatever works for you is what works for you. All right, so that crema, that cinnamon roll look is still popping through, and we're getting a very nice, rich looking. That is a very dark looking cup of joe right there, people. I tend to make my coffee way too strong. I do that for a reason, so that I can get the most extreme taste, and that way I can kind of figure out where it lies in terms of flavor notes and whatnot. I don't know if that's accurate. I'm not a scientist, people. I do this as a hobby. All right, that is still pumping out some nice crema. Lately, I've been going to about 500 milliliters of water. I think that gives you a really good, it gives you a good balance between water and coffee ratio. Of course, if you asked anyone, they would tell you my ratios are completely off. But like I said, I am doing this as a hobby. This is a fun thing for me. All right, so here we go. We got the pour test coming up right now. So we're looking for a rich stream, not watered down, and we want a nice color. And boom goes the dynamite. There you go, people. Look at that right there. That is beautiful looking. Wow. And there's just a twinge of bubbly crema at the very top. Well, no, there's not. I spoke too soon. But that is a very, very nice looking cup of coffee right there. Some may say motor oil. I say it's the black wine. All right, coming up, we are going to use our handy dandy trusted thermometer. Boomski. All right, so you want your coffee between 130 and 145. I usually like my coffee about 132, 135. So right here is looking perfect. That's going to give you the best taste for your cup. All right, let's get into this sip test. Ooh, smells like Pike Place. Pike's Place? Pike Place? I was going to make a joke and say, no, it doesn't. But it probably does to those who know what Pike's Place smells like. Whoa. Wow. Woo! Now that's a cup of coffee right there, people. Wow, that is absolutely intense. The flavor overload is unbelievable. Wow. Wow, wowee. That is intense. So you definitely get that sweet chocolatey taste. You definitely have nutty, full-bodied, smoky, earthy, just everything you could think of is in this cup right now. But it's bittersweet. It starts off sweet, and then it gets a little bit bitter, and definitely smoky. The smokiness is everywhere, which some may push back and say they burn their beans, but this is a good tasting cup of coffee, people. Wow. Yes, that is very nice. It's a little bit bitter, and it's on the harsh side. So Obviously, Starbucks loves to make their coffee very strong because they know people are going to put stuff in it and try to cover up that coffee flavor, because most people that drink coffee don't like the taste of coffee. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. Wow, that is so good. It's definitely not a, it's definitely going to jumpstart your morning. It's definitely going to be a cup of coffee you're going to want to probably drink, I would say, by itself. But it's so powerful that you could easily consume a sweet pastry of some sort. I would not recommend this with any kind of breakfast food. I don't think it would be good at all. I think it's too much on the harsh side. So any kind of like bacon and eggs and hash browns and whatnot, I would say don't do it. I would say go with like an 8 o'clock coffee or something else if you want breakfast food. Definitely Folgers coffee is great with breakfast food, but I would not recommend this at all. If I'm gonna give it a star rating, I'm probably gonna give it 4.5 stars. I'm gonna say that it's not the best Starbucks cup. So if we're gonna compare this with other Starbucks I've had in the past, I would say definitely go with something else. This is an acquired taste for sure. It's good. And if you want a cup of coffee that really tells you it's a cup of coffee, this is the one. This is gonna give you a good reminder that coffee has a lot of flavor to it. So I would say 4.5 stars. I really should start a star rating that is Starbucks, Peet's, Javalia, and just try to compare them to the other coffees, but I'm not there yet. So 4.5 stars, good cup, not the best, acquired taste, strong. That's where I'm at right now. So I would say if you see it in the store, don't buy a big bag like I did. Buy maybe a K-cup or something small just to get a taste of it, because it is definitely, it's definitely strong and it is an acquired taste. But yeah, woohoo! All right, there you go. That's Starbucks Pike Place whole bean coffee. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely click that like button. If you want to join the at-home family, hit that subscribe button. Every time I get a subscriber, I get a boost to make more and more videos, and it's because of you guys I surpassed 1K. I should really say we surpassed 1K, because it was your subscriptions that made me able to monetize my videos, and I'm on my way to making a living. So share this video with people, talk about my channel, boost my channel, help me out. That is all I ask for, because soon I will be able to make a living and my videos will only get better, which means you'll enjoy better videos. Yes, people, I'm here for the long haul and I'm sticking it out, YouTube and me together. I don't know why that sounded so funny. All right, that's it. So, as always, I thank you for watching each and every one of my videos, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.